Hey, so we have this problem and they want us to sketch the graph. All right. So first thing I see is we have this function. It says f of x equals x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6 over x minus 1. All right. So I'm going to try and see if maybe this x minus 1 is a factor of this x cubed. And I'll know if it is because x minus 1 equal to 0. I can add 1, x equals 1. All right. If when x is equal to 1, if this numerator is equal to 0, then it's a root. And I can factor it out. All right. So I'm going to plug in 1 to my numerator. So I get 1 minus 6, 1 cubed minus 6 times 1 squared plus 11 times 1 minus 6. All right, so that's going to give me 1 minus 6 plus 11 minus 6. So that's 1 minus 6 is negative 5 plus 11 minus 6. Negative 5 plus 11 is going to be 6 minus 6, which is 0. All right, so all of that tells me that x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial in the numerator. All right, so that means I can factor it out. All right, so I can take x minus 1 into x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. And you could have done this instead of seeing if 1 makes it the numerator equal to 0. You could have done it this way. So what do I need to multiply to x to get x cubed? I need to multiply x squared. All right. So now I'm going to multiply this x squared to this factor right here. All right. This is called polynomial division, or it's very similar to long division like you learn in elementary school. We multiply this x squared times this, so that's x cubed minus x squared. All right. Then you multiply this right here by negative 1, so you're going to have negative, and this becomes a positive. Then you add. These cancel out, and you're left with negative 5x squared. All right. I just bring everything else down whenever I'm doing this. All right. Now I look for the next thing. What do I need to multiply times this x to get this negative 5x squared? Well, I need to multiply by negative 5x. Then I take this negative 5x term and multiply it times my factor, and I'm going to get negative 5x squared plus 5x. Then I multiply by negative 1, so this right here becomes a negative. And I would get, these will cancel out, and I get positive 6x minus 6. All right, now do the same thing. What do I need to multiply by this x to get 6x? I just need to multiply by positive 6. All right, and then I multiply this positive 6 times this term, and I will get 6x minus 6. When I multiply through by my negative, I'm going to get negative and positive, and I get 0. So there's no remainder. So then this is what my numerator would factor as. So I'm going to end up having my f of x is equal to x minus 1 times x squared minus 5x plus 6 over x minus 1. All right, now I can cancel these terms out. So now I don't have to worry about trying to figure out the graph of this cubed and then divided by this x minus 1. I don't have to worry about all that. I just have to graph x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, so first thing I know is this x term is positive, so my basic shape is going to look like a cup, something like this. All right, I can find my x-intercepts by setting this equal to 0. This will factor as x minus 2, x minus 3. So I get x minus 2 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. So I get x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 3. So I know my two x-intercepts. I can figure out my y-intercept by plugging in 0 for my x. f of 0 is going to be 0 squared minus 5 times 0 plus 6, which is just 6. So I know my y-intercept is 6. And I know my graph looks something like this. So my graph would look something like this. This is kind of like something like this. This isn't the best drawing in the world, but it looks something like this. And if you plug it in Desmos, this is what you get.